Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Miike Monday with me, the Heart Critic, where on a Monday we look at the films of one of my favourite directors, Takashi Miike. Now today we're going to be looking at another favourite of mine, and that is the masterpiece that is Dead or Alive. The first in a trilogy linked purely by themes and the two main actors. The film follows Ryuichi, a Chinese triad boss, and a Japanese detective called Jojima, who both cross paths as one tries to take over the criminal underworld and another tries to take it down. Now, I love this movie, and it's one of the Miike films I've watched the most, and each time it's just as enjoyable. Firstly, there's a great dynamic between the two main characters. Throughout the film, their lives are juxtaposed, showing the differences and similarities. One of the biggest things, though, is that both of them are actually outsiders in their own way. Ryuichi is more obvious because he's a Yakuza of Chinese descent, so he's struggling to fit into Japanese society. But Jojima, on the other hand, he is actually Japanese, but he just seems out of place and uncomfortable in what should be a normal, happy life. And each character, because of their circumstances, by the end actually become equals. So in some ways, the film actually has a strong stance on that struggle for identity that some individuals have in Japan. Now you've got Sho Aikawa and Riki Takuchi in the main roles, and they also play the main roles in the other two Dead or Alive films. That's one of the main links, as I've mentioned. And they all put on very good performances. And you've also got a few other familiar faces in there as well, like Ren Osugi and Renji Ishibashi. Now, for the most part, this film does play out like a very well executed standard Yakuza thriller with a good story. But there's still some outrageous moments in there. And then, of course, there's the start and the ending of the film. Now, the opening is just this crazy montage of images that establishes a world that is out of balance. There's a lot of frenetic editing and camera work going on, all cut together fast, and it condenses over 100 shots and 20 scenes into around 10 minutes. And it's really quite a sight to behold, really, all set to this janky rock track, and there's a lot of interesting visual stuff going on. It really just sets a great tone for the movie, and it's just a great opening that really sticks out. And then there's the ending, which is a climax that just escalates and escalates until it reaches ludicrous proportions before hitting you with the credits. When I first saw it, I just was shocked, my mouth agape, but I absolutely loved it. But it's definitely one that I think is divisive. I think there's a lot of people who would be very frustrated and confused by the ending. Understandably so, it's very out there, and maybe isn't quite fit with the rest of the movie, but I just think it's bold and just brilliant, and I just love seeing it, and I love seeing people's reaction to it when I've ever shown someone the film. There's always been a very varied reaction to it. That's one of the best things about it, really, in my eyes. And there are, of course, some violent moments in here, and some quite grotesque moments, and there's also some solid action as well, with some nice little shootouts going on, which I really enjoyed. And it's just a very entertaining film, but it's also one that was important to me in terms of thinking about filmmaking and film criticism. This is another film I used for my uni dissertation on Takashi Miike. And I think one of the things it really taught me is that you really don't have to be refined with films. You don't have to play by the rules. You can really do your own thing. Just do what works for you, essentially. And if there's one thing I've noticed over the years, is that my favourite films tend to be ones that are a little messy and rough around the edges. And this is one of those movies. And it's a must-see for anyone getting into Miike, completely. However, if you like your films a bit more refined and consistent, number one, why are you trying to get into Takashi Miike? But number two, you might have some problems with this, but that's fine, But for me, it's just great, and I love it. So thank you for watching, I am the Heart Critic, and this has been my heartfelt opinion, and I shall see you next time.